Ever wonder what goes into a truly extraordinary kitchen? This one holds the answers in every detail.
Do you have space for an island or a peninsula or a kitchen table? We love islands if you do have space for that. And it's about everyone getting around the table in the kitchen and just hovering over one another, which is so yummy.
What style is the kitchen going to be? Modern, traditional, country, farm, rustic? Our suggestion is go with the flow and the architecture of the house.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't look weird and it's not placed. I mean, do keep your personal taste in the kitchen, but try to follow so the house and the kitchen belong together.
Yes. I heard this phrase and I'm in love with it, joy trigger. So think of your kitchen as a joy trigger, a place to bring lots of happiness and social connection and love.
Especially the kitchen when you cook and
right.
have family gatherings. Coffee station, here it is.
Yum.
Where you prepare your morning coffee,
Delicious.
You make your own celebration. It's a place where you love yourself, where you socialize, and where you give love to others.
A coffee station is not only a design statement, but it's a beautiful ritual. It's very sensory. And believe it or not, it's great for our mental health because we humans are creatures of habit. We love rituals. So in the morning, knowing that you're opening your doors and you're making a coffee is a ritual. It calms us, it comforts us, and it brings us joy. It is a joy trigger, Santi.
And I call it like a check-in within yourself moment.
Yeah.
There are many things involved in a kitchen. You have appliances, you have plumbing, you have cabinetry, you have flooring, you have lighting, you have ventilation. You got so many things. But my suggestion is go as high as your budget will allow it.
Right, because the best investments you can make, right, according to real estate.
Bathrooms and kitchen. Just think about durability. Think about warranties. Think about
energy efficiency.
How to start. Think about the space and how it relates to the rest of the house. Where are the windows? Where is the light coming from? Where is the family room? Where is the entrance? And how it relates to the living room and to the rest of the space. The appliances is the next step to follow because the appliances come in different sizes. For example, the refrigerators have counter depth or how deep it is, how tall it is. New technology is coming into the kitchen as most of the house. Artificial intelligence is here and we got to take advantage of it. So now they have in the market refrigerators that talk to you.
I don't like it.
They gave you the weather report. They become TVs. They could be chatting with your friends while you're cooking. That's got the good.
Do you know that gas stoves emit more toxins than a car? They emit more methane. And that when they are turned off, most of them are still emitting the toxic gas. So a new trend that we're seeing are induction cooktops, which are great because they're child-friendly. Someone can put their hand on it and it's cool. They're safe for the elderly. They're safe for people with disabilities and for kids. And it's much more energy efficient. We place the microwave under the peninsula, the Florida Peninsula, as I like to call it.
The width of the ovens will tell you what space of cabinetry do you need. There is one basic design principle called a triangle, which is a triangle between the faucet and the sink or the cooktop, the oven and the refrigerator. So you don't have to walk long distances to get access to them. Another important thing you should do instead of putting the cooktop on top of the island or any other area, put it in the back, is for protection, heat, moist, frying.
You know, it's so interesting. We get so many comments from people that are like, I love the cooktop on top of the island. And I find that it is so dangerous and so messy. I understand it for social reasons because look, if we had the cooktop on this island, it would be facing the guests and the family. It's social.
And if you're sitting here, entertaining or whatever, you're going to be, the frying pan is going to be on top of your face.
I know. I think it's crazy too. I agree. But hey, everyone's got it right. Please drop us a line in the comments section and make sure to subscribe.
Plumbing fixtures in the kitchen, and the market is as wide and as high as the sky. So there are a lot of plumbing fixtures that you can hook them. You can have a long neck, short neck, double, single-handed. Well, it's just everywhere. But one of the things that we liked about the one that we selected is this finish.
To me, it is so elegant. It's this soft, beautiful gold, but yet it's very contemporary and it works beautifully with the upper cabinets. It ties them in.
And also look at this. It's got the same, the countertop has those little
veins
in that kind of goldish thing, which is beautiful. water filtration system, which is something that is your health.
Bottled water, there's so many studies that are coming out that the water is filthy and
It's
contaminated.
so common, seeing in the news, problems about bottled water. You'll save money, you'll save the planet.
Because plastic bottles are not recyclable.
Most of them are not.
Another thing is to make sure that your fixtures are PVD coated.
The ones you find that are very glossy and that are very cheap, they are really bad. The inside of it will rust and you're going to be consuming that rust. Besides that, it makes it scratch free and it lasts forever. The sink is another big issue. Deborah, give me your 5 cents on the selection of sinks.
You want it to be recycled. You want it to be glazed, fire glazed. And you want it to be made with lead-free enamel.
That's the ideal, but it can also be in stainless steel, which is it lasts forever. It doesn't scratch. What about the size? I mean, I love this one that's a single one. A lot of my clients love the ones that are partially divided.
I think it's really personal. For me, I cook a lot, so I like big pots, so I like the one large sink. But I think it's a super personal thing, and I don't think you can go right or wrong.
Another gadget that most of our clients request is the pot filler, which I find it
it's great.
Kind of useful. I mean, but how can you live without it?
I saw you smirk. I think it's a great addition.
In kitchen, function is very important. So we try to use every single inch of the kitchen. For example, on this corner that was lost, we designed this space, as I call it, like a parking lot for small appliances, which is an ideal space. You can use all these corners and all the spaces that usually are lost. Kitchens have a lot of engineering, and there's a lot of hardware and a lot of mechanisms that help the daily use of the kitchen. For example, these doors, which are retractable, they're not on the way, and you can just close the station when it's not in use, or you could open it and leave it when you have a party. Another thing is that I love about contemporary kitchens is that we're not anymore using bottom doors. We instead going for drawers, because it's easier to reach things. And you don't have to kneel or go onto the floor to find pots and pans or things that are lost.
Also, can we talk about the corner lazy Susans?
I like to take advantage of every single space, and corner units are a little bit difficult.
I don't like them at all. I find them so annoying. I rather lose a little bit of space, and instead in that corner, we could have somehow created a corner in this space because
we decided not to do it because there was a conflict with the spaces that we had. But I do believe those are nice, and there are some new ones that are called the trains that you just pull out and they come like a carriage and then they lock in. Same thing with doors. I mean, look at this. You don't have to open the doors. You can park them wherever you want.
Very functional.
Something that I like when I do custom design kitchens is going all the way to the ceiling because it gives me a lot of extra space in the upper part for storage. It also plays with the height.
Yes.
So it looks a little bit more grandiose.
It's very clean also because the eye just wants to look at the lines of where corners meet. I'm seeing a lot in traditional kitchens now. They're doing the cabinetry to almost look like furniture. It only goes up 3/4 of the way along the ceiling.
It's a look, yeah.
Cabinet finishes, the fun part of designing the colors and the finishes. For this kitchen, we chose lots of mixtures and lots of different textures, which we always love doing. You need a good size kitchen to do that because then it becomes like craziness. For this kitchen, we chose matte. It's like an off-white. It's not a stark white. We wanted something creamy. It's very elegant and very understated because it's a very large kitchen. We chose this matte and we mixed it with glossy, pluses and minuses. Glossy is gorgeous, right, Santi?
It's very modern, it's very beautiful, but it's very delicate.
Very delicate. It shows fingerprints, scratches. So we kept these glossy cabinets way up high, so they were kind of out of the way of being kicked and knocked and all this and that. Positive thing about glossy is that they reflect the light. So in a smaller kitchen, a glossy finish can sometimes enhance the space a bit. And we did something really cool. Instead of just doing flat cabinet front here, we did scoring. And this is one of my favorite details that we did in the kitchen.
A beautiful detail, very well thought.
And the island is huge. So this was a really nice way to somehow insulate the island a bit and give it a sense of warmth.
On this very contemporary kitchen, we had a detail that was not liked in the drafting table, and it was that behind this area, we've got the
Chaos.
laundry room. So what we did, instead of having the door inside, like a typical door that will damage the beauty of this cabinetry, that we designed this custom door. The beauty of it is that it hides the door and you think that everything is cabinet. But to do with smaller spaces, we could have done a pull-out pantry, but you don't like pull-out pantries.
No, I do like pull-out pantries. I don't like lazy Susan. See, he never listens to me. This is a problem in our relationship.
Little spaces that we have, this is a beautiful place for cookbooks or accessories. Here we have the refrigerator. And we have the freezer right over here.
Put the wall panels, obviously, on the same thing. Just everything to be flowing and seamless and just clean looking. So
we wanted appliances to be hidden behind the door so they look invisible.
We have 2 dishwashers in this
kitchen. One over here and the other one is right here. Countertops.
For this kitchen, we did quartz countertops, which a lot of people find countertops that say they're man-made, and quartz is man-made. What we love about this material is it's non-porous, so it doesn't stain. You spill wine on it, you're okay. It's a great, great, durable, tough, scratch-resistant product.
And heat-resistant as well.
And heat-resistant. You want to make sure that any countertop you get has certifications on it. The FSC certification is great. It shows that it has low chemical emissions, off-gassing, volatile organic compounds. You want to stay away from that in your entire house, especially your kitchen where you cook food. What we chose was also something that really works well with the off-white cabinetry. We could have gone dark, we could have gone very dramatic, but I personally like light countertops because as a cook, I like to see if I get dirt on the countertop, and with the dark one, you can't see it, so it kind of grosses me out.
What I love about the light color is that it looks always pristine and clean, even if it isn't.
Crisp.
And it gives the space light.
Yes.
It's not congested visually.
And this countertop has a very slight movement to it. Santi, if you want to show it close up.
Yeah.
And as Santi...
It's got some grain, like an imitation of Carrara marble.
And we carried it up the backsplash as well.
And it's so white. It's kind of a warm white that
like the cabinetry.
Blends very nicely with the floor.
This is a thin countertop.
This is straight edge.
And what we did here to play with the shapes, again, we have a very big island, so we needed to be a little creative so it didn't look like this huge, ginormous island. We gave it a really thick edge so the two play off one another. Because, right, Santi, we wanted this piece to be chunky.
And that console table is free-floating. It's not attached to the kitchen. It stands by itself. So we want it to be like sturdy and thick.
You want to stay away from a bar height, which is 42 inches, if an elderly person lives with you or perhaps someone with disabilities or even small kids. It's dangerous. It's taller. You want to stick with 36 inches, which is your counter height. It's lower. You can get chairs, stools that are a little more comfortable.
I love the bar height because I'm too tall and still enjoying my juice.
Stop bragging. I think what I love about this kitchen is that we did both, which is so nice. So this is a bar height, and here we have counter height because we have room on both sides, and we even have room on that side. A lot of really high-end and even lower-end hardware companies recycle all their hardware, which is great. So if you're going to get hardware, try to get it from a company that uses recycled parts. You can also go vintage and actually buy pieces, which we've done for a lot of projects, in antique stores.
And it's recycling,
and it's recycled, and they're beautiful, and you're bringing a story into the kitchen. And really, design is all about storytelling. So it's beautiful to bring in something that has a really rich history to it, and it becomes a conversation piece as well.
In this kitchen, there's very little hardware because it's very contemporary, and we wanted to leave it like very simple. We have this, which is called the Gola, which is something that avoids having hardware pull out to pull.
Just pulls right out.
Yeah.
And we didn't choose hardware for this kitchen because, again, as you can tell, we wanted it really clean and really sleek and contemporary. And the only hardware that we do have is so special. So that's really kind of like the jewels on the black dress, right?
Sure.
One of my first memories of a kitchen was at my grandmother's house in the Bronx when I was a little girl. Her kitchen was the size of this sink. And she and my sister would be sitting at the tiny little stove making gravy, as we called it, which is really sauce. That's what Americans call it. And I can still smell the gravy on the stove, cooking in that big pot. Kitchens hold such a special place in our heart. Please, any questions you have, we want to know. Please drop us a line in the comments section and make sure to subscribe. Thanks
and
so
like
much.
this episode as well.
Yes.